So you have the division directors here. We have about 40 some chairs out there, and that's my role, is to try to remember everybody's name, because I have about 110 people on our team right now. And so we'll talk about what are some of those additional people that you could have on your team. We're going to talk about recovering in benefits, building trust, the 5 principles of motivation, and then talking about conflict. So first, let's talk about the area directors. Now, what do you think are some of your roles as an area director? Just go ahead and raise your hand and we'll shout them out.
Basically, I see my role is to help the clubs do what they do and kind of promote the education system. So you do after training like twice a year. You do the contests twice a year, and it's basically, and then you visit the clubs twice a year. So.
All right. I think he was out of well. He's trying to cover them all, right? So he said officer training, club visits, and I can't remember the third one. Contests. Anybody else want to add to that?
Share energy.
Share energy. Thanks, Eric. Anybody else? Supporting the district and supporting the clubs, actually. Anyone else? Yes.
Point of communication to the clubs in the district.
Point of communication. Exactly. All of those things are part of the role of an area director. Now let's talk about your team. Now you, as I said, are not alone. You have your fellow area directors, and you have the division group directors, which I'll be coming to. But then you have all of the club officers. Now some of you have 3 clubs, and some of you here have 7 clubs. So the amount of officers you will be working with is going to be a little different. But there's 2 other key things that I want to point out. We'll go to this slide and I'll go over the other one. And that's the Assistant Area Director of Education and Assistant Area Director of Marketing. Now, for an Assistant Area Director of Education, what do you think that means to you? Anyone?
Somebody to reach out to the clubs and make sure that their education program is on.
Yep. One of the things is helping each of the clubs to make sure that their education program is on track, helping them with maybe how do I submit an educational award. It might be, from an educational standpoint, it might be helping to chair your speech contest or helping to find a location and working with all those clubs. It's just a couple of examples. A few others for an area or an assistant. Maybe find stuff on the Toastmasters International website. How does a club conduct a speech contest? And your assistant can help with that. What about next is the area director of marketing. What could be some things that person could help out with? Building new clubs. Social media.
Helping build with the existing clubs.
Helping with existing clubs. And how that would work is making sure the low member clubs, helping to see, do they want a club coach? Is one example. Any others? Some of the other ones could be helping with creating or putting together area or division is some of the other examples, and helping with the area and area success plan, or helping clubs with the club success plan is what other assistants could help with. Ben,
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you actually, in essence, have however many clubs you have all these club officers in your area council.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that the VP of Education for each one is your assistant?
No.
Or you just ask a certain one for each of those, VP of each, to ask them, one of them to be your assistant and then one on marketing, or how do you go about doing that?
This is a TI slide, and I don't like exactly how it is, but I would say it doesn't have to be a current club officer. It could be anybody that you know in your area to help you as an assistant in the area director or area director of education and the area director of marketing. Now, this is just a Toastmasters International suggestion slide. You may have other assistants out there that you would want. And can anybody think of one example of that?
Assistance with the contact.
Assistance with the contest. One could be you can have an area trainer who will help either do coordination of the training sessions or possibly just helping record it, whatever that area, whatever you need that area trainer to help you with. This is another good example. Any others? If you do think of any, let me know, and maybe we can make a list of some examples that are out there, because I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Moving on. Division directors. We have 10 division directors and 61 area directors. For a division director, basically the exact same thing applies. The division director has their own council meeting or council team, and that consists of all of the area directors. I would also recommend that the division directors have similar people for their assistants. So that might be an assistant in marketing, it could be in education, it could be in training, whatever the case may be, because having more people will help you out, and I don't want everyone to feel overwhelmed. Putting it all together, they have two circles here. To me, I try to draw a third circle, and I just kind of make it work. And that is the district. To me, it takes all three of those circles together to support our clubs. And so you can see the overlap here, the division council and the area councils, and that's where the area directors come into play. From an area council meeting, I think those are important. I know I had those back when I was an area governor. And what the purpose of it is to bring all of the clubs together, the club officers. Now, not all of them can always meet. Toastmasters International says a minimum of twice a year. I would say a minimum of quarterly. Pull them all together, and some of them we even did monthly for those that have area or clubs that are all close together. Some that are farther out in divisions D, I can't remember the new numbers yet, or letters. Is going to have a little further drive, so they may not be able to do that as often. But the important thing is if you bring them together, they're going to teamwork and work with each other to help support their own clubs. They're also going to be able to help support you as an area director with speech contests, with officer training, because they will be your volunteers. So definitely work with them, have some of these council meetings, and then the division councils who be helping out with those. The division governors, division directors will be able to do those on their own. We're going to do one today over lunch hour, so that you can meet with all your team, cover any topics that you want to talk about, be kind of open-ended, and we'll see how that goes. Moving on. The team agreement. We have our team composition. Team composition is kind of what we just went over, and that's who are the people that makes up your area, or who are the people that makes up your division. We have the values. And I'm drawing a blank here, I'll say. Back to my slides. I apologize. And the values is the 4 core values that Toastmasters International has. Now, does anybody know what those 4 are?
Respect, integrity, service, and excellence.
Keyword is RISE, R-I-S-E. You write that down, you'll be able to remember those 4 core values. Respect, integrity, service, and excellence are the values. Operating principles. All of the areas and divisions should have some kind of operating principles, and that would be how often are you going to meet with your divisions, how often are you going to meet with your area directors, and area directors, how often are you going to meet with your club officers. And if you guys make any decisions, how will you guys make up those decisions, or how will you decide? My suggestion would be Robert's Rules of Order and then do a vote. But those are some of the things we want to think about. Obstacles, you will run into obstacles. We're going to go around the room here and kind of think of what obstacle you think you might run into. Just raise your hand and we'll shut them out.
Scheduling.
Scheduling, yes.
Communication.
Communication. Another obstacle.
Participation.
Participation. Yeah.
Acceptance of change.
Acceptance of change, embracing that change.
Different personality types.
Yep, personality types. Distance. Some of you are going to have short distances for your clubs. Others are going to have long distances and divisions going internationally. So that could be an obstacle. Any others who want to come up?
Different priorities or goals.
Different priorities and goals. Those are all the things that you'll want to think about when you're working with your teams. Meeting protocol, kind of put that with the operating principles. That's how often you're going to meet. And then your team interaction and behavioral norms. You're going to see that some division or area, as an area director working with your maybe club presidents, you're going to see some club presidents that are eager and they will call you all the time, whether that's on the phone, email, fill up your email inbox. And then you're going to have some club presidents that you don't even know if they exist because they won't respond. And that's where you'll just have to work through and figure out what are the communication options to best communicate with that person. Sometimes it might be a simple phone call. Others, they may want an email. And if you have a younger club officer or president, they may just simply want a text message, right? And that's up to you to find out what's going to work best with those clubs. Team motivation. I'm hoping all of you are motivated here. I'm totally excited for this upcoming year. And we'll have 20 days left of this year and counting until we start Arizona New Year. And one big thing in order for your clubs to be a success is to keep them motivated. There's 5 different principles of motivation. I have them up here, but I want all of you to come up with an example of what you think would motivate somebody. So go ahead and raise your hand on what you think motivates somebody.
Incentive.
Incentives, yeah, that's a big one.
Recognition.
Recognition. Any others?
Pride of ownership.
Pride of ownership. Others. So yeah, those are all good ways of getting them motivated and keeping them going. So if you guys have ideas of ways to recognize, ways to motivate, and you want some help, let us know in the district and we can help you out with that. Whether that is some pins, we're going to have some pins. I'm still working through the design. I don't have them ready yet. I was hoping I have them ready today. It's going to be a shooting star, and it's going to be the above and beyond award that you will be able to hand out for any club officer, any member across our district. If you feel that they're going above and beyond, especially around embracing change, if they find a way to do something but do it different and try something new, I'd say let's give them those pins. And that's going to be the same with all of you. We go around and you're like, well, this is what the area governors did last year, but I want to try it this way. And you have a success story to share. Please let us know and we'll communicate that out to everyone. And we'll make sure we get those shooting stars out here soon so that all of you have those to pass out. Conflict. You will run into conflict as we go along. You're going to have possibly some club officers that you won't get along with, and you want to work through that. You're going to have some things where you may have an area director and a division director disagree on a topic. Some other things could be, well, there could be any number of things. But what are some things that you would think would help with resolving conflict?
Listen.
Listening. And that's Patricia? Thank you, Patricia. Listening. Any others as far as resolving conflict?
Proactive communication.
Proactive communication.
Compromise.
Compromise, yes.
5 points of agreement.
What was it?
5 points of agreement.
5 points of agreement. Yes, all of those are very good examples of working with somebody. And it might be that you come up with that we agree to disagree, right? because you may not have the same vision. But the key point is, if you do that, is what's one point that will help the members. If you both disagree, what's in it for the member in that disagreement, and to come up with a solution that best fits the members of our district. So please keep that in mind. If you guys do have, or everyone I should say, sorry, is that yeah, if there's that conflict, always remember the member. They have a couple of other things on here of writing it down, moving forward. I'm going to leave it up to you of what you feel your best practice is. In review, I'm going through this quickly. We'll cover the roles of the area division director. You have your club officer training, you have club visits, coming to these sessions here, and I'm missing the fourth one. Officer training. What was that? Contest. Thank you. Thank you. I know there's a fourth one. Identifying the members of your division and area council. So as a takeaway, I'd like for all of you to at least think about who is somebody that you know in the district that you would want on your council. And that could be one of your assistants, maybe even make up a title. You can just make up whatever titles you want in your area and that you think would help your around and help your clubs. Fourth one, they talk about team chartering and benefits. To me, by just doing this, it's going to be a success and to help all of you to make sure that you're not overwhelmed. Building trust and setting expectations with your team. Applying those 5 principles of motivation. And then lastly, using conflict resolution techniques. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. I went through this quickly to try to get us back on track, and I think I went a little too quickly because it is 9:20, and our next session is at 10. So I think what we're going to do here, we're going to take a little bit of a break.